Trigger warning. The following podcast contains content that may be deeply disturbing. You will hear first-hand accounts from parents and family members who have lost children to filicide, the murder of a child by a parent or caregiver. These stories are raw, emotional, and shared from the perspective of those who have lived them. They include details of unimaginable loss, system failures, and trauma. Please take care while listening. If at any point you need to pause, stop, or step away, we understand. Welcome to Voices Against Filicide. I'm your host, Hooton, a mother who has walked this journey and an advocate turning my pain into purpose. This podcast sheds light on filicide cases, statistics, who these children were, the warning signs missed, and the advocacy being done in their honor, and so much more. Together, we speak the truth, honor their lives, and fight for change. Before we go any further, I want to take a moment to honor two of the brightest lights I've ever known, my children, Alec and Lydia. Alec with his love for Pokemon and his kind heart, and Lydia full of joy and her love of unicorns. They were more than my whole world. They were joy in human form. Their laughter, their hugs, their imaginations, all of it lives on in me and in this podcast and in the work I do every day to protect children and raise awareness. This podcast is for them. It's for every child whose voice was silenced too soon. Alec and Lydia, you are my why, and I will never stop fighting in your name. Thank you for joining me today, and let's get right into today's episode. Each episode, we tell the stories of these children, not only to remember them, but to demand change. Change that can be able to save lives and protect the most vulnerable among us. Today's episode takes us to Port Huron, Michigan. This filicide case is unlike any one that I've heard thus far. So please listen up. Port Huron is a medium-sized town in the state of Michigan. This little town is where a family's world was shattered on Thursday morning, September 11th, 2025. When 3 siblings were shot by their own father. One of them, 17-year-old Kayleb, lost his life. His younger siblings, Bentley and Kinzley, survived but faced devastating injuries. This is their story. On the morning of September 11th, 2025, inside the Glenview Gardens apartment complex in Port Huron, the Port Huron police responded to frantic 911 calls. When they arrived, they discovered a nightmare. 3 siblings had been shot. 17-year-old James Smerer was fatally wounded. 13-year-old Bentley and 12-year-old Kinzley were rushed to the hospital in critical condition. What began as an ordinary school morning ended in unimaginable tragedy. Kayleb is remembered as a bright and joyful teen who loved cars, gaming, and being with family. Friends say he was the light in every room, with a smile that could warm anyone's heart. Bentley, just 13, survived with severe facial injuries, fractures, and damage to his jaw. He was initially placed on a ventilator, but has since been released from the hospital. His recovery will be long, but his resilience is already shining through. His sister, 12-year-old Kinzley, suffered a life-altering injury. A bullet lodged in her spine has left her with paralyzation from the neck down. She remains on a ventilator. Her future now depends on long-term care, rehabilitation, and a home that can meet her new medical needs. Kinzley was a bright, vibrant 12-year-old. She was a basketball player. She had many friends, and she was such a special little girl. This whole family didn't deserve this, and this was preventable. Their aunt shared that their mother has not left her children at all. She is just trying her hardest to stay strong in the face of unimaginable grief. Not only grief from her 17-year-old son who has passed away, but also grief for her other 2 children who are still here but have injuries that will last a lifetime. Another relative said their father, 44-year-old Jeffrey James Smerer, once bent over backwards for family, but had been struggling with severe mental health issues, including he had a stroke, and because of that stroke, was left with seizures and the loss of his job because of the seizures. This, for him, was life-altering. He added that Jeffrey had sought medical treatment for mental health illness, but he didn't get the help he needed. And this is something that we hear far too often. Our mental illness and mental health system needs to be changed. They need to take this seriously when someone goes in and needs mental health treatment. These people know that something is wrong with them, so they are seeking professional help for mental health support, and they are not getting the support that they are asking for. Imagine you go into a hospital with a heart attack and they don't help you and they just send you home and you die of a heart attack. Do you understand how much uproar that would be for a family? Put that into perspective of someone that is going through mental illness. It's the same thing. They are seeking help for mental illness and they are not getting the help that they need. So in a repercussion, this continues to happen. Children are put in harm's way even after somebody asks for help. It is not okay. Still, family members said that Jeff was always there for their family, and nothing was unusual that morning of September 11th, 2025. It was a regular day, as a family member put it. He woke up the kids for school, and then something happened. And that something is probably eating away at this family because they don't know what triggered Jeffrey. And Jeffrey sometimes might not even know what triggers him. Again, he has mental illness. He's had a stroke. He's had seizures. So that alters your brain chemistry. And that's something that we need to understand. And I'm not saying that Jeffrey didn't need help or did need help. He did. But this is something that could have been prevented if Jeffrey was able to get the help he needed. It seems like he had a family that was ready and willing to help him and trying to help him. In this case, it seems like the mental health providers were the stumbling block. The mental health providers were the ones that dropped the ball. This is why it's so important that you have somebody that's advocating for a family member with mental illness, because they need somebody that pushes and pushes and pushes until somebody listens. And sometimes that doesn't happen. Police arrested Jeffrey at the scene without incident. He now faces charges including open murder, multiple counts of assault with intent to murder, first-degree child abuse, and several firearms-related charges. He was arraigned virtually and denied bond. Prosecutors say additional charges may follow. The Port Huron community has come together in grief and support. Vigils have been held to honor Kayleb's life and to stand with Bentley and Kinzley. A verified GoFundMe account has launched to help the family cover medical bills, rehabilitation, and the major cost of adapting a home and a vehicle to support Kinzley for long-term needs. The message from the community is clear. This family is not alone. The tragedy in Port Huron is another painful reminder of the ripple effects of filicide. It robs children of their future. It devastates siblings, parents, grandparents, and entire communities. And it challenges us to do better. To provide mental health care when families cry out for help. To strengthen prevention systems to protect children. And to recognize that behind every headline is a child with a name, a story, a personality, and dreams that deserve to be fulfilled. Kayleb deserved a long life, and he only got 17 years of that life. But he has left a legacy that his friends, family, and community will never forget. Bentley and Kinzley deserve a safe, loving future. And every child deserves protection. As a mother who has gone through the loss of losing my own children to filicide, I want to say that I stand with you as you go through the grief of losing your son and the grief of losing who your daughter Kinzley could have been and who your son Bentley could have been. I pray that they get the help and support that they need to live a strong life, whatever that may look like. If you need someone to talk to and you are listening to this, please reach out to me. My information is in the show notes. I am here for anything you might need. This is a call to action for my listeners. If you are listening and wondering, how can you help? Here's what you can do. Please consider donating to the family's verified fundraiser page at the GoFundMe link in the show notes. Every dollar goes towards Bentley and Kinzley's care, from medical bills to accessible housing and equipment. Share their story. The more people know what happened in Port Huron, the stronger the support system becomes for this family and the children involved. Advocate in your own communities. Speak out for better mental health services, stronger protections for children, and reforms that put children's safety first. And remember, keep raising your voice and telling people about filicide. The more we talk about filicide, understand what it is, and how to prevent it, the more helpful we'll be to our communities to help save children's lives. Together, we can turn grief into action. This has been Voices Against Filicide, and I'm your host, Hope Hooton. Thank you for joining me in honoring Kayleb's memory and for standing with Bentley and Kinzley as they fight to recover. By telling these stories and by sharing their names and by demanding change, we give a voice to children who can no longer speak for themselves. Thank you so much, and remember, be kind, and always abound in hope. Thank you so much for listening to Voices Against Filicide. I'm your host, Hope Hooton. This is our final episode for Season 1. If you haven't listened to all 10 episodes yet, go back and listen. I can't wait to see you on Season 2 of Voices Against Filicide coming in the new year in 2026. Until next time, remember, be kind and always abound in hope. And make sure you follow me at Hope in the Pain on all social media and find out more resources for Voices Against Filicide at voicesagainstfilicide.odoo.com. Thank you so much and Happy New Year.